So, good morning, one and all. This is Dr. Pranadute, and today we are going to see the uh, uh, topic sedimentary geology, overview of the sedimentary geology under the subject elementary physical and structural geology, which is a part of BSc Geology honors course, second semester. So, in this subject, what we are all till now, whatever the lecture we are dealing, or whatever the lecture we have right now till now, so all lectures are basically specifically going for the fundamental concepts, means basics for the subject. So when you are in for the when you are going to study the next petrology, mineralogy, and stratigraphy, you should have some basics. It's not like that you are hearing the first time the word which we are going to use in stratigraphy, sedimentology, and also that's the objective of having this paper, elementary physical and structural geology, a fundamental concepts of the subject. So in this connection, we are going to see the today we are going to see the sedimentary geology. So sedimentary geology is the one of the rock, sedimentary rock, and the geology associated with the processing and all these things. We are going to see this one. The objective behind this is lecture is to know about the basic of the rock, basic and the properties of the sedimentary rock. This is the main objective behind this lecture. So, so when we are calling the sedimentary geology, when we are calling the sedimentary geology, it consists of the sedimentology process and stratigraphy. So sedimentary geology is contain the two different kind of process or two different kind of sedimentology and the stratigraphy. Sedimentology and the stratigraphy. So sedimentology is the study of processes. Sedimentology is the study of processes, while the stratigraphy is the study of responses. Sedimentology is the study of processes. What kind of processes? The production, composition, transport, deposition of the sediment. Sedimentology is having a production, composition, transport, deposition of sediment. So that contain the sedimentology. Stratigraphy, a study of responses. Stratigraphy is a study of responses, inferring the control on the spatial temporal changes of the strata. Exact process that created the rock can't be known because only the rocks are left, not the process. Sedimentation and sedimentary rock. Sedimentation and sedimentary rock. So two different kind of things which is having a useful for the same process. Sedimentation and sedimentary rock. Sedimentation and sedimentary rock. So sedimentary rocks are formed 75% of the rock exposed on the earth's surface. So whatever the most of the rocks you can see on the earth, that's why it gaining a more important than the other two one, the igneous and metamorphic. So whatever rocks you can able to see on the surface, the 75% of the rock are the 75% of the rock are sedimentary rock. So means the most of the earth surface is consist of the sedimentary rocks. The most of the earth surface is consist of the sedimentary rocks. Are the reservoir for fossil fuel, iron, aluminum, ore, and groundwater record the earth history. So, whatever the most of the reservoir, what is the reservoir? Reservoir for the petroleum and all. Then you have iron, aluminum ore, and the groundwater. It's mostly that all are the controlled by the sedimentary rock and sedimentary process. So that's why sedimentary geology and sedimentary process is very much important for a point of view of geology and all. Now, now things in sedimentary petrology is the sentiment, is the individual sediment. Main thing is sediment. So individual sediments are loose solid particle and can be. So sedimentary sediment is an individual unit. Okay, we can say that when this individual sediments can get together and form a sedimentary rock, but when you have a sediment, that sediment is a loose solid particle. Okay, that sediment is a loose and solid particle, so that is known as sediment. So you have a heterogeneous biogenic chemical. Okay, in sediment you have a heterogeneous biogenic and chemical. So what it means by heterogeneous says, what it means by heterogeneous? A heterogeneous means fragment from the silicates. A heterogeneous means a fragment from silicates. So that is known as heterogeneous. Whether it is a maybe a igneous, metamorphic, or itself a sediment. So three type of rocks, you know. So fragment from silicates means when you have a fragment, okay, when you have any rock and that rock is get weathered, that rock is get weathered, and that weathered rock get deposited somewhere. That weathered rock get deposited somewhere, and that is known as your heterogeneous rock or heterogeneous unit. Then come to the biogenic process or biogenic this one. So the whatever the fossil you can have, whatever the fossil you can have, that all fossil is comes under the carbonate. That all the fossil is comes under the your biogenic. So fossil is a biogenic one. Chemical. So precipitate. The chemical one is the precipitates of halides, gypsum, and anhydrite. So whatever the salt you are taking, that all are the chemical sedimentary rock formed by the chemical sedimentary rock. Okay, understand the what the three different type of processes that is involved to deposit the sediment from one place to the any basin or any place. So you have a heterogeneous which is coming from directly from the a fragment of the silicates. Then you have a biogenic, and then you have biogenic which is a fossil. Then you have biogenic which is having a fossil. Then you have a chemical which is precipitates halide, gypsum, and anhydrite. So this is all the this all are the chemical. These all are the chemicals which is precipitates and this one. Then you have then you have a classify the particle size. Then you have classify the particle size into different forms. One is boulder, one is cobble, pebble, sand, silt, and clay. Boulder, cobble, pebble, sand, silt, and clay. So this is different kind of particles. Different kind of particles you have. So what is a boulder? So depending upon the size, depending upon the size, you may have a different kind of particles. You may have a different kind of particles like boulder, like you have a boulder, cobbles, pebble, sand, silt, and clay. So boulder is more than 256 mm. Okay, so the sedimentary rock, the beauty of sedimentary rock, it get specifically you can say the it is specifically divided on the only basis of my video is on or off.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
On है sir. On.
Okay. So this is a basically divided on the basis of only your what we can say the Size. Size is the only parameter which is uh, which is defined or which classify the sediments. So the smallest unit or smallest thing is clay. Okay, all you if you know that clay, what is the clay? Clay is a very fine material. Okay, just like cement. Whatever cements are there, they're just like cement. So clay is a uh, 1 by 256 mm. In if you are converting this one in a micron, if you are converting this in a micron, you can find a less than 4 micron unit, less than 4 micron unit. So that is the size for your clay. And the rock which is formed from the clay is known as clay stone. The rock which is formed from the clay is known as clay stone or shale. So both the rock you can have from the clay, both the rocks you can have from the clay stone and shale. Then you have a silt. Then you have a silt. Silt is nothing but a 1 by 256, so means a 4 micron to 1 by 16. So if you converting this in a micron, you can find a 4 micron to 63 micron. Okay, 4 micron to 63 micron is your silt. So rocks which is formed by the assemblage of silt is known as siltstone. So you have a shale or clay stone from the clay. You have a silt and a siltstone. You have a silt which is from the siltstone. Then you have a sand. Then you have a sand. So sand is nothing but the size of 1 by or we can say the 63 mm, 63 micron to your 2 mm or 2000 micron in other word. So in the other word you have 1 by 16 to 2 mm is the size for the sand. So these are just a size. These are just a size which from which the rock is formed and that known by this name. So sand is the rock which is formed by the sand is known as sandstone. So you have a siltstone, sandstone, and a shale or a clay stone. Then you have three different major unit, which is known as a pebble, cobble, and boulder. The bigger the unit you can see in a river side, that is your cobble, pebble, and boulder, depending upon the differentiate side. So boulder is a highest or a biggest unit sediment which we can have. So all this pebble, boulder, and cobbles is form a what we can say the form a sediment form a your what conglomerate. Okay, form a conglomerate. Then you have grain size and grain shape, which is depending upon the a different thing. Mean whatever grain whatever grain you have in the your rock. Okay, you have a sedimentary rock and you have a different grain in your rock. So what kind of condition is make this all the rocks what we can say the what condition make this all rocks different size and different this one. So you have a transport media, you have a transport media, you have a distance from the parent rock, you have a mineral hardness, you have a salting. Okay, so transport media, distance from the parent rock, mineral hardness, three different things are there. So transport media is a river. Transport media means whether it is travel by the river, ocean, and lakes. Whether it is travel from the river, ocean, and lake, glacier. So what kind of media has been used for the transporting the grain from one place to the another place? What kind of transporting media has been used to take this one from one place to another place? So river, what the river you have? River, you will take a pebble, bounce on a river bottom, sand move in a traction, and seal plane is suspended in the water column. So when you have a water column, obviously in river you can have a water column. Means what is mean by water column? I will just explain you here. This. So when you have a river like this one, this river is having a vertical column. Okay, the depth of the water. In other words, we can say the depth of the water. So in this depth, the the particle is moving in a different direction. Like in a bottom, you have a heavier sediment, the medium sediment in the suspended or traction form, or this one is a in a suspension. This one is a suspension. So you have a suspension, traction, and at the bottom. So different kind of material depend upon their size. They are traveling in a different forms, in traction, in suspended form, and in different form. Ocean and lakes, near shore and deep water system, glacier move on a glacier bottom wind. The longer the distance traveled, generally the smaller and the more well-rounded the grains are. The harder the parent rock, the longer it will be make the sediment to erode. So the longer the distance travel, generally the smaller and the more well-rounded the grain. So first of all, the which factor is more responsible? The transporting media, by which media it can be transport, whether it is from the river, whether it is from the glacier, whether it is from the stream. So if that one is through, if that one is travel through the river, you can have a more rounded sediment. If that one is in move through the glacier, you can have some angularity in your sediment. You can have some angularity in your sediment. Then you have a distance from the parent rock. Then you have a distance from the parent rock. The longer the distance traveled, the generally the smaller and more well-rounded the grains due to higher kinetic energy. So the longer distance means the distance of the source to the sink, or from the where the sediment gets started traveling and whether it is get deposited finally. So that distance is also matter most for the size and the roundness city of the your what we can say the sediment. So you have a the distance depending upon distance will define the size. So more the distance, your the less the size of the sediment, because it get eroded and get transported from the many kilometers. It get reduce the size. It get reduce the size. And when you have this what we can say the when you have a large size means the source is nearby. When you have a large size, the source is nearby. Then you have a mineral hardness. Then you have a mineral hardness. So this is all are the factor which is responsible for the uh, grain size. So the harder the parent rock, the longer it will be take to sediment to erode. And example of this is a silicate, more resistant to the weathering and erosion than the feldspar, and this is why beaches often comprise of sand, not feldspar-rich sediment. So, what the sorry. So when you are going to the beach, any beach, you can find a more sand. That is your quartz. So silicate means quartz is having a more resistance or more hardness than the minerals, than the feldspar. So this is why your quartz is more often find in the beaches than your feldspar. So sorting is also one other criteria for this all the grain size characteristics. So this is what all the criteria where which is a dependent criteria for the grain size and shape. Then you have a classification of sedimentary rock depending upon the different criteria. The first criteria is from the terragenous sedimentary rock, the rock which is from the coming from the terragenous sedimentary rock. The first one is a mudstone. First one is a mudstone, sandstone, conglomerate, and breccia. Mudstone, sandstone, conglomerate, and breccia. These are the four different kind of rock. These are the four different kind of rock which we have. So detrital rock is a rock which is directly coming from the rock is directly coming from the your what we can say detrital rock are eroded from somewhere and get deposited. So mechanical process is more mechanical process more involved. Mechanical process is more uh, involved in the your what we can say the heterogeneous transportation. So what kind of rocks you have? What kind of rocks you have for the this detrital? You have mudstone, you have a sandstone, you have a conglomerate, you have a breccia. Okay, you have a mudstone, you have a sandstone, conglomerate, and breccia. This is the four different kind of rocks you have. So detrital sedimentary rock are classify based on the particle size. So I already explained the different kind of particle size right from your clay, silt, sand, pebble, cobble, and boulders. So this is what you have to remind this all the rocks. Now all detrital rocks are clastic. So the clastic process itself suggested that the rock is mechanically coming from somewhere. Sand and silt are predominantly quartz. Sand and silt are predominantly quartz. Finer size particle of clay minerals. Finer size particle of clay minerals. Then you have a sandstone. When you have sandstone, sandstone is a 25% of the all sediment rock. Sandstone are the so first rock is mostly which is mostly fine in all this one. First sandstone. Sandstone is a 25% of all sedimentary rock. Sandstone is the 25% of all sedimentary rock. Sandstone particles. The sandstone particles are the size of sandstone particle are 1 by 60 to 2 mm. In micron, you can have micron 63 micron to 2000 micron. That is a size of the sandstone. That is the size of the sandstone particles. Then you particle uses of sandstone building and reservoir fossil fuel and groundwater. So most of the sandstone is also used as a building blocks and in a reservoir also you have a shale and sandstone. So sandstone is a very important rock, one of the rock which is having a 25% of the rock on earth. Then you have conglomerate and breccia. Then you have a so conglomerates are having a grain diameter larger than 2 mm. But when you finish the sand, when you have finished the sand, you have a boulder, cobble, and pebbles. So conglomerate and breccias are those rocks which is formed from the earth particle which is having a size more than sand. More than sand. So 2 mm is the size where you find the 2 mm is the size where you find all the rock rock of sandstone siltstone. So more than that, you find the conglomerate and breccia. So what is the difference between the conglomerate and breccia? Again, all the things are same. Just the one thing are changes between the conglomerate and breccia is their shape of the grain. Their shape of the grain. So conglomerate and breccia are having a different shape of the a different shape to the this one. So breccias is have a angular grain. Breccias is having a angular grain, whereas conglomerate have a rounded grain. Breccia is having a angular grain, and conglomerate have a rounded grain. So this is a different kind of things has been born. So what kind of rock geologist can recognize? So when we are in a field, we can see the clearly see there is a clasting process are there. So if you take a hammer and take some, so you can have some powder or you can have some grains in your hand. So that's how you can have you can uh, identify those rock in a field. Then you have a clastic texture classified by size and shape. Conglomerate, breccia, sandstone, siltstone, shale, and common. So this is all your sedimentary rock we find. Mudstone is more than half of the sedimentary rock. Mudstone is also having a fair amount of percentage. Uh, so you have a mudstone is more than half of the sedimentary rock, contain the smallest particles. So I will explain you the mudstone or a shale is made up from the clay material, and the size of clay is less than 4 micron in mm, 0.004 mm. So this is very small size. This is very small size uh, for the particle. Then third one is the environment of deposition. So mudstone is mostly formed in a lakes, lagoon, deep ocean basin, and river floodplain. The color variety of shale represents the mineral composition. Practical uses of shale: bricks, ceramic, cement, and oil and shale. So color variety of, so when you have red color means the condition and the material by which shade is formed. So if the color is more reddish, you can say the composition may be iron, irish. If you have some different kind of what we can say the different composition, you can have a different color. So depending upon the color, depending upon their cement, and this all we will see.
Sir,
Yes, yes. So this is what the mudstone is all about. So the practical use of the shale is to form a bricks, ceramic, cement, oil, and shale. So this is the use of the your shale. Then you have a chemical sedimentary rock. So whatever we have seen till now, that all are the terrigenous rock or a mechanically formed rock. Then you have a inorganic chemical sedimentary rock, means which formed by the chemical process. So that rock is having a limestone. Okay, limestone is one of the important and one of the majorly derived rock in the sedimentary terrain. So the sediment and sedimentary rock are formed by the lithification, transporting sediment into sedimentary rock. So compaction and cementation is the most important property. Compaction and cementation is a more a process which convert loose sediment into the a sedimentary rock. Okay. So in the lithification, what the lithification is all about, you can have a sediment and that sediment is get converted to the sedimentary rock. You have a sediment and that get into a sedimentary rock. So diagenesis and compaction. So diagenesis, lithification, compaction, these all are the processes. These all are the processes where you have this kind of things. So diagenesis is the changes in the sediment due to the increased heat, pressure, and circulating ground. Then you have a lithification, which is having a compaction and cementation. The lithification is having a compaction and cementation. Then you have a compaction, a diagenetic process by which the weight of the overlying material reduces the volume of sedimentary body. So you have a diagenesis, you have a lithification, and you have a compaction. So then you have a cementation. Then you have a cementation. The cementation is a precipitation of dissolved iron in the pore spaces. Means once you can take a best example of how you have a bricks, and that bricks is nothing but a sand or sediment. Once you have bricks one another, you need some cement to take this or stick to bricks in between. So likewise, you need a cement to form a sedimentary rock to collect all the sediment, individual sediment into the single one. So that is what your cementation process is does for you. The texture of rock formed by the compaction and cementation of sediment particles. So the cementation is the one, texture of the rock is the second one. The texture of rock is formed by the compaction and cementation of sediment particle. The compaction and cementation is formed by the sediment particle. Then you have a recrystallization. So recrystallization of certain unstable mineral is into new, more stable mineral. This primarily in the carbonate. When you start a carbonate, so this one is mostly happen in the decrystallization is mostly happen in the your metamorphic and all. So you have a sediment that is transport and deposit from one place to another place. Ice, water, and wind can all transport particle various size of to another location. Abrasion and rounding is a process which I explain how the your abrasion and rounding is happening. Sorting is nothing but a relationship between the two different individual grains. Okay, what is the sorting? If you have your class, in your class you have a different height person. The height of one person is a 5, height of second person is a 6. So the height of third person is maybe 5 or 7. So this is not a uniform. This is not uniformly distributed. So in a grain size also you have a different grain in a single type, and the different kind of this thing. So you can have called as a poorly sorted sediment. So this is how your sorting. This is how your processes has been going on. You have a glacier and glacier debris. So glacier and glacier debris. The glacier debris is nothing but sediment which is formed in the like this one. Then you have a chemical sediment. Then you have a chemical sediment means evaporation has been done. Then you have a decaying swamp vegetation. Then you have a ocean. So all are having a type of the sediment in it. So processes are different for this one, and the angulosity or roundness is also different. Now when we are going to the history of the sedimentary rock, there is a law of superposition, an important principle used to interpret sedimentary rock. It is stated that the younger rock is deposited on top of the older rock. So this is the thumb rule for the geology, that younger rock in undisturbed strata, the younger rock is always lie on top. In a in a bedding plane on a strata, you always find that you have a younger rock always at the top. Why it is on the top? I already explained in other lecture. Now I'm again going to show you the. So if this is a basin, and this is a sandstone. This is a sandstone, or this is a your this basin. So now in undisturbed strata, if this one all not responded, so if in an undisturbed strata, this layer is always younger than the this layer. The uppermost layer is always younger than the lowermost layer. So this is what your James Sutton is told. So then you have after the history of the this one, then you have reading the story of sedimentary rock. So determination of environmental. So when you have a sedimentary rock in your hand, by doing a different kind of analysis, they interpret those data. You can have a sedimentary rock. You have a sedimentary rock. The environment of deposition is may vary. So this is a common geological environment where you have a different kind of uh, you can have a different kind of environment, geological environment. Like glacier is another environment, lake is a lacustrine environment, is another set of environment. Then you have marine environment, then Ustiri and this one. This all are the these all are the different kind of environment which is present in your uh, surrounding. So this is the location of subsurface explorites. So in subsurface also you have a explorite. The sedimentary structure is one is stratification sediment. Sedimentary rocks are bedded or layers become an agent of deposition, carry different material at different time, different kind of stratification, different kind of different kind of what we can say the layers, different kind of layers are there. So in sedimentary structure, you have a bedding plane, arrangement of sediment particle into the distinct type. Then you have normally a graded bedding, a sedimentary rock in which particle size varies gradually with the nearest particle. So in bedding, you have a changes in a sedimentary change bedding. Okay, changes in the transport energy. Maybe the transport energy are very high and then get suddenly decrease. So there also you form a bedding. So the what is the graded bedding? What is the graded bedding? Graded bedding is nothing but a sequential deposit. Means at the bottom when you have a coarse, then you have a fine, more fine. So this is a fining upward sequence. Always remember that in this one you have a what we can say the fining upward sequence. Then you have cross bedding, sedimentary layer that is deposited and angle to the underlying set of beds, that is known as cross bedding. Then these all are the subsurface one. Then you have surface sedimentary features. Then you have surface sedimentary features like ripple mark and mud cracks. Ripple marks and mud cracks are two different things which we have. So this is a picture which suggested that how to classify the what we have classified on the basis of what we have classified the this sedimentary units. So this is the asymmetric and symmetric ripples. So this question may ask several question about what tell me this. So you have a asymmetric and symmetric ripple. You have a asymmetric and symmetric ripple. What does mean by symmetric and asymmetric ripple? A symmetric ripple can have two similar end. A symmetrical ripple, two ripples, asymmetrical and symmetrical. Symmetrical ripple divide the ripples in a two different unit of a same means the size of this one is the same one. Then you have a form the coal also formed from the swamp deposit in a sedimentary process. Okay, so this is a overview of coal, how the coal has been formed. So formation of coal has been there. Then you have initial deposit of flat tabular clay. So then you have formation of ulitic. What ulitic is there? So this one is a form in a oceanic side. Loose carbonate mud bedrock. So then you have origin of mud crack. Mud crack is nothing but a crack which is developed in a area where you have mud. Then you have lithification of sediment. What I already explained you, it converted from one unit to the another unit. Environment are adjacent to the fine grain. Sedimentary that are deposited in a quieter in a very quiet water. So you have a transgression and regression activity also. Transgression is nothing but the when seashore coming towards the land, that is your transgression, and regression when your seashore is going towards the back to the ocean, that is your regression. This is how your sedimentary rocks has been formed. So you have a graded bedding. You have a graded bedding. In graded bedding, whether you have a climbing upward sequence. So large particles are at the bottom, and the smaller and the light one is at the top. So this is a MCQ question related to this one. So you can write down and show me the answer tomorrow. So shale refer to rock from the shale refer to the rock formed from sand size material, and what? So you don't have any option to go for the all. Uh, you have to salt it out. So shale refers to the rock form. Which one of the following is biochemical sediment rock? Clastic rock is root from the cementation. So cement, whatever the cement we are forming, that all are the mostly the limestone. Okay, natural cement whatever we use, that all are the limestone, and limestone get the rocks. This one is another one. Which of the following type of sediments are most abundant? Fine plastic, chemical, and biochemical. The tendency for variation in current cigarette for lithification. Which one of the following type of current about? So this is what the overview of, we have taken the overview of sedimentary rock. So sedimentary rock is a very important rock, as far as you now you can have idea about the sedimentary rock. The sedimentary rock is having a 75% of the earth crust. Okay, sedimentary rock is having a 75% of the earth crust, and there is a many more area is still undisturbed, and you can study this all by this sedimentary geology processes. Okay, sedimentary geology processes. So you have to apply some basics there. You can have applied some basic there while the field when you are visited to the field. You must have some all the things which is wood shoes, sports shoes, and all. So this is what your sedimentology is all about. Is also called as the sedimentary rock. Then you have a study of processes and production of composition, transport, and the deposition of sediments. So these all are the sediments. The property or whatever we are talking about is just about the sediment. Sediment is maybe sometime quartz, feldspar, and all depending upon their hardness and depending upon where they occur. So these all are the from the sedimentary geology paper, the sedimentary geology overview of the sedimentary geology. This is all the slideshow for this one. So with this, now I'm going to close the meeting. So thank you for and you can go and solve this MCQ question also, which is present in your LMS also. MCQ question, whatever the MCQ question you have, you can able to see this one in